Hi everyone, this is Carolyn Speaks, the State of Our World on Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. Let's find out what it is and see what we can do about it. Now, the coronavirus is still with us. As of early this evening, we had 5,486,046 confirmed cases in the United States. We also had 172,271 fatalities, those who passed away from this virus in the U.S. So why is it like this? Well, poor management. No one at the top is doing anything. We need a national plan to conquer this virus. We really need to shut down the U.S., finally. Keep everyone in quarantine. You only get out when it's absolutely necessary, like the drugstore, the doctor, or the grocery store. Always wear a mask when you're in public, wear gloves if necessary, and practice social distancing. Test everyone. The national plan for that makes sure we test everyone. And also, anyone who tests positive, trace their contacts and isolate the person, quarantine them, get them the care they need. Any of their contacts trace positive, isolate that person, trace their contacts, etc. That takes organization from the top, from the national level. That's it. Other nations have done this all over the world, but of course not the United States, because Trump doesn't want to. He doesn't want to tell the world how many cases we have and how many fatalities we have, because he just doesn't care. So we need to do this, and we have to protect our vulnerable populations. We have to protect our essential workers, like grocery store workers and truck drivers who deliver the products. Like veterans living in veterans living in veterans' homes, and those living in nursing homes, assisted living homes, and retirement homes, and those living in shelters, those who are homeless, those who are health care workers, those who are first responders, and farmers, agricultural workers. They're the ones who grow your food and pick the food and get it delivered. So we need to protect all these people. Everyone needs to be kept safe. Everyone needs to have proper health care, and everyone should be safe in their work and should not be forced to go to work for a business that is not safe, that is going to make them sick or kill them. Never. That's what we have to do. And we cannot give employers what do you call it? A liability. They have to be held liable for those who work for them, those who make money for them. They have to be held accountable. They can't have legislation that says they are not liable for anyone who gets sick or dies in their business. They have to be held accountable. We need health care for everyone. We need a living income for everyone. Until we get back to normal, everyone needs to get a living income to pay for their housing, their food, and their health care needs. And we cannot rely on a healthcare system where the insurance companies decide who gets care and who doesn't. We need a centralized system as they do in other industrialized nations in the West. That's the way it has to be. Now, that's what we need to do. But can we do it? Yes. We have to make a commitment to do that. If you are healthy and you have enough money to pay for your housing, your health care, and your food, then why do you want to deny that to anyone else? For instance, schools should not be reopened unless they're safe to do so. Don't risk the lives of the students and the teachers and the staff. No, keep them closed until it's safe to do so. Every day, schools are reopening, universities are reopening, and then they're shut down again because cases arise and cases are too high. Now, if we're going to do this right, we have to do social distancing, we have to do quarantining. No parties, no trips to the beach, no trips to the park. Stay home. Take care of everybody. Because the life you save may be your own or that of someone you care about. So that's what we have to do. Now, we have an election coming up in November. Make sure you're registered and then find out everything you can about those candidates who will appear on your ballot, those issues that will appear on your ballot. Familiarize yourself with them and vote. Vote by mail because that is the safest way in this pandemic with the virus. However, the President Trump is trying to prevent people voting by mail. He keeps on telling us it's rigged and it's fraudulent. It's not true because he and his family and advisors vote by mail. He's just afraid if everybody votes by mail, he will lose. So you have to vote by mail. And he's also trying to sabotage the post office with his recent pick to be the Postmaster General. We can't let him get away with that. So those are things we have to do. Now, we have certain areas of the country that started out with high number of cases, and then they went to low number of cases. In other areas that thought were safe, then they had a surge in cases. There was a plan that Trump's son-in-law Kushner was supposed to put into effect, whereby they have come up with a testing plan to test everybody and get everything settled. And then Kushner found out that the surge in cases was in the East and the West, and he said, why should we protect those people? They're not our people. Well, we're all each other's people. We're all part of the same country. So they dropped that plan. So it's a real mess. I don't understand why Trump hasn't been doing his job, and why his advisors haven't been doing their jobs. There has to be a way to make him and his people accountable for what they're doing. We also still have protests going on all over the country over the police brutality, criminal justice, over the murder of George Floyd in Minnesota by a white Minnesota police officer. So we need criminal justice reform. We need education reform. We need immigration reform. We still have people in detention who are seeking asylum. And that's another place where the virus spreads easily. So we have to look out for everybody. Native Americans, they're having a hard time, but that's nothing new. Throughout history, Native Americans have always been harmed by the white people, because they always wanted their land. Didn't want to pay for it, didn't want to protect them, just want to steal their land. A long time ago, they brought them blankets infected with smallpox, killed a lot of Native Americans. So this is what we have now. We have a dictator, Trump, living in the White House, and all his lackeys, all his advisors, and feels like the members of the Republican in the administration and in the Senate and the House. So we have to change that. It has to be a country for the people, for all the people, not just for a few. Immigrants should be welcomed, should have a very fair immigration system. Immigrants from all over, not just those from Western Europe, Scandinavia, no, all the people. Because Trump's family is from Germany. His father was an immigrant. Trump was born here, but his parents weren't. So there. All right. Now, what else do we have going on here? Let's just wait a minute. Okay. All right. Now, remember, do the right thing. Let's have a little song. Little song I wrote. It's about life is worth living. Let's see how it goes. Life is worth living if you give it a chance. So don't give up and don't give into despair. There are so many creatures who God has created who would love to have a chance at life. So that can be your purpose. to help them to live a good life. Life is very precious, so don't trifle with it, for once it is gone, you cannot get it back. Perhaps you need a new outlook on life or new friends. Life is worth living if you give it a chance, so don't give up and don't give in to despair. Okay, everybody, that was Life is Worth Living. Hope you liked it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us this evening, Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. Carolyn Speaks, the State of the World. Hope to see you all back here again tomorrow evening. And remember, take care of yourself, take care of others, and remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Good night. Stay safe. Goodbye.